Are you looking for true personal freedom? The freedom to design a life you truly desire? Then you're absolutely in the right place. True personal freedom comes from when you take 100% responsibility and control of your money and your mind. Here you're going to learn ideas, tips, and wisdom that's going to help you bridge the gap from where you are now to your dream life in the future. My name is Randy Wilson, and welcome to the Rich Mind Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Rich Mind Podcast. Today, I want to start off with I would almost call this a poem. This is something that my mentor, Jim Rohn, wrote, and it means a lot to me. And I will read this, but then I will get into detail, share a little bit of a story as to why it means so much to me and what I hope to inspire you with, not only this poem, but hopefully with the story that I have to share, and just that you get, a little bit behind the curtain as to why I do what I do, why I'm even producing this podcast and trying to produce this content. We'll get into a little bit of that. So, but first off, let me read this. I call it a poem. You can call it a quote, poem. As I mentioned, I like to use the word poem, but this is titled The Challenge. Let others lead small lives, but not you. Let others argue over small things, but not you. Let others cry over small hurts, but not you. Let others leave their future in someone else's hands, but not you. And as I mentioned, that was from Jim Rohn. So today, quick question. Are you living small? Are you living smaller than you have the capability of being? Are you reaching your full potential? Are you striving, working hard every day to become a little bit better? You can make exponential growth, but it doesn't necessarily have to come every day. Just incrementally getting better every single day in small tasks will add up. And at some point, you're going to get to the end of your life, and you're going to see what the impact that you've had on others and even for yourself will be. So why is that story so impactful for me? Is that, number one, recently I've realized, and this has been over the last few years, that I've been playing small. I've been keeping to myself. I've been trying to figure everything out on my own. Being brought up, I wouldn't say taught, but I was definitely led by the example of just stay with yourself, just stick to yourself, just do it yourself, work hard. Everything that we did in our family, my dad would, and then my mom too, would physically do it themselves if they could. And that's everything. They, between cutting the grass, between changing the oil, between fixing the house. I remember I helped roof our house growing up because my dad wanted to save some money from the roofing company. So he offered up my services, and I helped roof the house with a neighbor that knew how to do it. He didn't even go with a professional company. But the point I'm trying to make is that upbringing caused me to continue to play my adult life playing small. I always tried to keep to myself. I never allowed anybody or anything to help me to expand, to grow. And what I had realized is I had gotten to a certain point with knowledge. Knowledge is great, and I encourage you, you need to continue to go get as much knowledge as you possibly can. Wisdom, I like to call it wisdom. But at some point, you need to begin putting that knowledge and wisdom into action. And when you begin to do that action by yourself, you'll realize really quickly that you're not going to get the results you're necessarily looking for by trying to keep it all to yourself, by trying to do it all by yourself. You can do all the things required to even do this podcast, but I would recommend that you find folks to help you. even just a few years ago, I would always try to do everything on my own, which has, I've gained some skills. I know how to do things on a computer or with some software or even running a e-commerce business, but I did it all by myself. I was always afraid to use leverage as far as help having others help me to expand and to grow. So that is the first part of the story that I want to share with you, is to really think through, if you try to keep it all to yourself, if you try to do everything on your own, how much of that belief and of that story that you keep telling yourself is keeping you from achieving a greater level of success? As I have tried to do that more and more in my recent time now, things are beginning to grow. I'm beginning to see that as I let go of me doing it all, I'm actually able to do more. We are all limited with the amount of time that we have, and we can't get it all done by ourselves. Find the people, find the processes. There might be software. There's probably a kid down the street that would love to cut your grass. Hire that young man, give him the opportunity to serve you. Yes, you're going to trade some dollars for that service, but you're going to help somebody, but then it's also going to get you some of your time back to do the things that are important. So think about that. How can you stop playing small? So the other part of that story that I want to share with you that I think will be of impact, and this kind of goes along with a lot of the message that I have to share inside of the Rich Mind podcast and a lot of the content that I have, is that you need to take control. You need to take back control of your thoughts, of your thinking, of your beliefs. And when I say take it back, more times than not, from what I've realized, is that you don't even realize what you're really taking it back from. It's just a matter of becoming aware that your thoughts and your beliefs may not be serving you to the best of your ability. Both of my parents, unfortunately, passed at a very early age, relatively speaking. My mom passed away with breast cancer 1 month away from her 50th birthday. And my dad passed away from cancer as well, 6 months away from his quote unquote retirement account, or a retirement date, I should say. So, what I've learned from that experience, because obviously that was not a great experience for me and my brother and my family, both of those were obviously traumatic. But what I learned was that the idea of playing small, I feel, looking at my father and even looking back on my mother, uh, they didn't play full out. They didn't necessarily achieve as much as they wanted, and I believe it's because of they once again believed in lack. They didn't believe that they had the ability to do more, be more, have more. And that's one thing that, through that experience of losing my parents, I've decided that I do not want to do. So if you have your parents, go love them. That would be my first suggestion, because I wish that I could. The second suggestion is realize that you are not limited. You can do, be, and have anything that you want, as long as you're willing to put in the effort with thinking differently, thinking accurately, but then putting in the processes and systems to gain more than what you have today. Some of those beliefs and those stories that are currently running in your mind, that you can't do this and that you don't have enough and where am I going to come up with more, is they aren't necessarily true. And that's been my experience. Or that you have to do things on your own. That's not necessarily true. So I challenge you today to think through your life. Currently, what status do you feel like you are right now? Are you playing small? Are there things in your life that you want to improve upon? Whether it be financially, it could be in your relationships, it could be time with your kids, time with your family. It can be all kinds of things. The point is that you need to then become aware that it's possible to have more as long as you do the work to become more. So you need to work towards becoming more valuable. You need to work towards learning how to provide value to the marketplace. Stop playing small. It's not serving you. It's not serving your family. My dad and my parents, in my opinion, playing small did not serve my brother and I. What it did is it modeled a way of being that I've realized as I've gotten into my adulthood and raising my own family wasn't serving me either. We weren't getting ahead. We weren't experiencing life to a level that we really wanted. And because of that, that's the reason why I've tried to work very hard on myself. I've worked to try to gain the experiences, gain the skills that the marketplace would deem valuable. And because of that, I'm able to have different experiences. I would encourage you to figure out the same for you. So let me read this poem one more time. The Challenge. This is by Jim Rohn. Let others lead small lives, but not you. Let others argue over small things, but not you. Let others cry over small hurts, but not you. Let others leave their future in someone else's hands, but not you. Go out there, take back control of your mind. It starts in your mind. You've got to take back your thoughts. You've got to control your thoughts and question everything. Question why you're getting the results that you're getting. Question why you were taught certain things growing up, whether it be from your parents or from your school or from wherever you were being influenced by. Take control, make some changes. It can be done. If I can do it, you can do it. And I encourage you to do that today. So go out there, have a fantastic day. I look forward to connecting again with you very soon. And until the next episode, bye now. Thank you for joining me on the Rich Mind Podcast. I hope you found a ton of value in this episode. If so, I'd really appreciate a 5-star review, and you can also share it with your family and friends. And as my mentor Jim Rohn shared with me, in order to have more, you must first become more. And in order to become more, you must work harder on yourself than you do on your job. So go out there today and work harder on yourself to become more and build the life of your dreams. Until next time, my friends.